In a tumultuous time for Aston Villa fans, a bit of good news comes out around the corner. Aston Villa have reportedly reached an agreement for the signing of Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, admittedly, I was not prepared for this move considering Villa have literally just, as I'm recording, just finished their game at Bristol City away. They've also got the Jack Grealish saga going on, but we're not going to focus on that because that is a completely different subject altogether, which we will probably cover here. But this is the transfer or agreement of the transfer for Leon Bailey from Bayern Leverkusen. And as I said in our transfer update, what a signing! It's obvious that I think to a lot of Villa fans that the wingers positions really needed more depth in them. And I think adding Wendy to that already was a nice step up there. But you've also got to think now that this move, before the Jack Grealish news, was already linked about. But now considering what we do potentially know is going to be the outcome of whatever Jack Grealish decides to do, Villa have stepped ahead, and perhaps this is what has come of it. They've taken the money and moved to replacing those assets and trying to build a better squad around with the player like Leon Bailey now. But as I say, it's a really good move. He's a really good player. 23, or as of next week, going to be 24. Still young, a lot of time to develop, a lot of experience, surprisingly. In his time at Bundesliga, he's played 119 games, 28 goals, 21 assists, 13 yellow cards, and 2 surprising red cards as well. But he's also got experience in the Europa League and Champions League. And it just shows the type of player that we potentially have on our hands here. In terms of Bayern Leverkusen, he's played 156 games, 39 goals, 26 assists, and he's also managed to play the game where he's got 77 appearances, 15 goals, and 21 assists. And it's something that our wingers don't surprisingly get much goals, really, although Ghazi occasionally pops up with the goal on Bertrand Traore. It's not something that Villa really seem to capitalise on, and something that I think what's been really good with this move and why Leon Bailey's been put in such high regard is the amount of pace that he brings to the team. It's something that Aston Villa don't really seem to have shown throughout the signings of the likes of El Ghazi, Trezeguet, even Bertrand Traore. Players that aren't really that pacey, aren't really going to go at defences and just try and blitz past them. And I think signing someone like Leon Bailey really makes up for that. In terms of what Aston Villa have said, actually, Aston Villa and Bayern Leverkusen have reached an agreement for the transfer of Leon Bailey, subject to the player completing a medical and finalising personal terms. And I believe I've seen the news that this deal, although they still obviously to work out that medical and some final terms, this deal could be wrapped up in very early of next week. And it's a really good signing. Leon Bailey is a really highly regarded player. I know a few years ago he was linked with the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, and he does show the amount of intent that Aston Villa have, spending around 30 million for the player, which could have been nearly as high as 45 million. But I think it's hard to talk about this transfer without talking about Jack Grealish. As I said, I think we will cover this in a separate video. Obviously, we all know what is potentially to be the outcome of Jack Grealish at Aston Villa, and I can't help but feel like this is a move that has been, although it has been linked and there was clearly an interest to clearly go this quickly ahead with the move, would really suggest that the Jack Grealish move for the £100 million to Manchester City has taken place, and Villa are now trying to capitalise on that and try and get these signings over the border. But I was talking about this on Twitter. My issue with the likes of signing a Leon Bay, the likes of trying to be signing James Ward-Prowse is, how is the player like Ward-Prowse especially meant to be interested in coming to Aston Villa when our main talisman would be leaving us to go to Man City? I imagine you'd be bringing in James Ward-Prowse to improve those set pieces a bit like Rohan does, but also that link up with Jack Grealish. That Jack Grealish gets the fouls, Ward-Prowse works on the set pieces. You've got to wonder there, without him, what really attracts players now to Aston Villa, apart from Jack Grealish, apart from that link up and the partnership to play with him. But on the same side, it shows that we do need intent in this window, and credit to the owners who I think are a little bit on the ropes here regarding Jack Grealish's move. It's it shows intent. It shows that they're making the right decisions, and it's always one of those things we've got to look back on and say 2 years ago we were signed 100 million plus players. Some of these just were not good enough. Last season's window was really good, and now this season's just getting better and better, and hopefully it will get better and better. But yeah, I'm incredibly excited to see what Leon Bailey can bring to the Premier League, especially to Aston Villa. It completely solidifies the wingers' positions. It really corrects that problem that we have now. It's just a case of him and Buendia stepping up to the plate, but also Bertrand Traore, El Ghazi, Trezeguet eventually, working their way back into first team. But it's nice to have that level of competition, ultimate depth in that positions as well. So it's really exciting to see. I can't wait to see how he's going to kick on, and hopefully he's going to be really somebody that's going to set Villa ablaze, considering we really need it right now. But that is the breaking news. Aston Villa reach an agreement for the transfer of Leon Bailey from Bayern Leverkusen. Tell us in the comments down below what you think of the move. Please no Jack Grealish. We'll cover that in a separate video. But Leon Bailey, come on, let's get into the Villa. Let's go and do this. Up the Villa with a pride of Villa. We'll see you for the next transfer, boys.